Good evening, everyone. I wish I could say good morning this time, but I was not able to get up bright and early and get my recording done as normal. It was a busier day than usual. That happens. That happens in the work world, right? So, at any rate, it has been a packed day, and I don't have the coffee in front of me anymore. It's almost beer 30, I think, is what we're coming up on here. So, definitely ready for a weekend. At least there's good weather outside. It's a pretty beautiful day here in the foothills of North Carolina. But at any rate, I hope it's been a less crazy day for you guys and a productive week. We've got a few cool topics to touch on here, a few things to share and talk about. Um, Nothing super heavy, but just some cool topics. So we're gonna step through each of these one at a time and see where that gets us. So, one thing I want to touch on is that I've been seeing some love for the Plantronics Voyager Focus UC headset on Twitter lately. A few different people reaffirming how much they love the tool, the product, and I use mine constantly. These are great. They are just. I had someone ask me on my video, the review I did on them a while back, if they were heavy. And, I guess looking at them, they might look a little bulky around the ears-ish. I don't find them to be heavy at all. I think they're a very comfortable fit. They don't feel like they're weighing on my head. Seamless, smooth transition between phone, music, Skype for Business. It just is. I love them. They're a great set. Better than anything else I've tried to this point. And I won't call any other names out in particular, but I love my Plantronics Voyager Focus UC headset. So if you're shopping around for the right one to get for your Skype for Business communications and all that other good stuff, there's my recommendation. So, all right, let's jump on over to the content today. As you'll see in the back here, Mike, I got some glare kind of covering up this. If I run my hand over it, you can kind of see over it. At Randy Chapman. That's our first little note on the board there. And then we've turned Skype for B into Skype for B show here. Going to talk about the Skype show for a minute. And then Mac. You need to figure out that glare. But anyway, have a little something from Randy Chapman, who is a super active member of the Skype for Business community. We'll start out actually talking about the Skype show here and a little bit on Mac later on too, with another topic or two in there. So let's do our transition here. All right, infinity screen. Here we go. The Skype show episode 5 is coming up. That is coming up this Monday, May 4th. I think things have shifted a little bit as far as what the topics are going to be. I was trying to get information from Mark Vale at Unified Vale on Twitter, but I think I missed him a little late in the day for him there in the UK. Tentatively, we should be having Adam Jacobs, Office Servers and Services MVP, on the show. Mark should be having him on the show. And the other day, I know that the plan was he was going to announce some new cool Polycom features. First time announcement right on the Skype show. It's a pretty big deal for Mark and a cool thing to have happen on the show. I don't know if that's still the plan or not. Mark had made a comment on Twitter letting us know that topics may have changed slightly. I don't know if that's in line with the announcements or not, but he had said he had a couple big announcements for this next show. So episode 5 might be a good one for you to tune into if you've never watched one yet. And if you have watched them, then you know it's a good one to tune into anyway. And if you're looking for the older Skype show episodes, you can find them on Channel 9, Microsoft's Channel 9. So good stuff. If you go to theskypeshow.com, very easy URL up here, you'll see that we have the skypeshow.com URL on the broadcast link right here. That's going to take you right to the Skype meeting broadcast. They've got a calendar here for it as well for the episodes that are upcoming. And And then, of course, as always, Mark would like you to submit feedback for what you would like to hear talked about on the show. So if you can think of a really good Skype for Business topic to throw his way, he would love that. Throw that out there. All right. Let's move along to this little announcement that we saw earlier. The Mobile Application Management, and otherwise known as MAM, and Conditional Access are both now available for Skype for Business Online with Intune. So very, very cool stuff. If you read a bit about them here, I'll, of course, include the link on the YouTube video description. But these are really cool features. MAM, in particular, gives you some really neat granular control over the types of things that you can allow to happen on a user's mobile phone. Of course, pairing this with Intune gives you more control and a better overall experience here. But an example of the kind of things you can do, you have your managed applications on the phone and you have your unmanaged applications on a end user's corporate phone or personal phone that's allowed in the corporate network. You can apply different policies and controls to the managed applications. That is very cool and it's very powerful. For instance, you can do things, as they call out in here, like allow copying information between Outlook and Skype for Business, but maybe not copying information between Outlook or Skype for Business and some third-party app for note-taking. That, you might be able to block that kind of stuff if you don't want that type of activity going on the phones. It helps you protect corporate data better. So this is a very cool development to have out there. The latest, the latest in a growing mobile workforce that needs access to corporate data, and corporations equally or more so need to protect that data and where it goes, which is increasingly difficult in a more and more mobile world. Tools like this are bridging that gap and helping corporations and organizations find their way there. So that's a cool little deal there. And then conditional access. Conditional access, will obviously make sure that you're only allowed to access your organization's Skype for Business deployment if your device meets certain requirements. For instance, you could set up a policy that says, look, this is a jailbroken phone or this is an unsupported OS. We're not going to allow you to connect to Skype for Business. That doesn't mean you can't install Skype for Business from the App Store, but you won't be able to you won't be able to log into your company's Skype for Business account if you don't have certain prerequisites and requirements met. And of course, these are things that Intune is there to help you with. So one note they do call out here, MAM without device enrollment and conditional access functionality requires modern auth to be enabled for Skype for Business Online. And it is currently disabled by default. And of course, they were helpful enough to provide us the instructions to enable it. So that's something to keep in mind if you are not using Intune. Then this is something you need to consider here. Sorry, not using device enrollment. So, all right, let's move on from MAM and conditional access. And by the way, this is not mobile across the board. One more thing I should call out about this: we're talking about iOS and Android here. iOS and Android, of course, those are the first two that Microsoft develops for because that's where most mobile users are. So maybe one of these days we'll get a little more love on the Windows mobile phone world there. Let's move over to Randy's Link blog, Link and UC blog. Like I said, Randy Chapman, very valuable, strong, contributing member of the Microsoft UC community. Always helping to share others' content and put stuff out there that's good and helpful for us all, and also contributing his own. And this week, he put a really cool addition out there. He had done a Link 2013 firewall diagram, which he gave us a link to here. But he wanted to follow that up in like fashion with a Skype for Business Server 2015 diagram, just to keep things fresh and clean and make sure he's got the latest stuff out there. And he plopped a link to the gallery where we can go and download that and give him a 5-star rating because this is a phenomenal chart. Look at this graphic. This is not just high level of detail, but it's just so cleanly and neatly done, easy to look at, easy to read and understand. I love this, and I know that I will be referencing this and using it on many occasions. So Randy, for me personally, thank you. This is huge stuff. These types of charts and diagrams are so helpful when trying to get the job done, especially architecting and putting together a very difficult, complex environment, or trying to dig through the nuts and bolts of engineering it. So thank you again. Guys, I will put this link out there if you want to go and grab it and check this out. I would highly recommend you do. I don't see why you would not. So, all right, let's follow things up with a little bit of Mac. Mac seems to be a weekly topic these days, but it's what everybody's talking about. It's out there, so let's touch on it. Zig Serafin, he went ahead and shared a little picture here, kind of sort of announcing the launch of the preview for the first phase of the Mac deployment. And so to me, the Mac deployment kind of feels like this whole kind of sort of almost thing, you know? I understand the logic behind the phased approach. I know where they're going with it. I know why. I've heard the explanations, but it feels like it's been waited for so long, and people are just waiting for this thing to get here, that it's almost kind of like teasing them a little bit more, and just you almost have access to the thing you really want. So it's on its way. It's getting there. I don't want to make their lives harder. Sean Wilson and Jamie Stark and the team over there are doing a great job communicating facts to us, giving us demos and telling us what's up, listening to our 5 billion questions about it and persistent chat and all that. So thanks for putting up with us, Jamie and Sean. We appreciate it. But it's coming. The preview has finally launched in phase 1. Zig gave us this really cool screenshot of them of the conferencing tool in action, because phase 1, of course, is just for conferencing. Following this blogsoffice.com article over here takes us to this article. They put a link to the skypepreview.com site here where you can go and sign up to try to get an invite to the preview program for the public preview program for Skype for Business for Mac. And it is a phased approach. Here they say phase 1. Once you sign in, you will see your meetings for today and tomorrow based on your Outlook calendar, which is a new cool thing for Mac. Very cool. Displayed in the Skype for Business client. It's a very simple but clean and Skype for Business / Mac-ish interface here. Most of it, when you click on most of these links, you're just going to kind of get a little message that hey, this is in development and coming. But this one here gives you your meetings, and look at that, a join button right from within the client. So that's very cool, very cool. And then down here we've got a YouTube video for a quick tour on this with Microsoft Mechanics. If you've never watched the Microsoft Mechanics episode, you know they're very informative but brief. So a very good thing to watch and check out. And the phase 2 and 3 shall be forthcoming in this year. Phase 2, they're going to be adding IM and presence and your contacts. And then phase 3, they're going to add telephony. So enterprise voice will be making its way into the Mac client. All right, guys. That is it. That is what I have got for today. Let me bring this back up. Infinity screen. Back. That's it. That's for today. I'm ready to stick a fork in this week and grab my beer. It is beer 30 about. So, yeah. Let's make that happen. I hope everyone has a restful, wonderful weekend with great weather, and that you're all ready for a new productive week next week. I thank you again for tuning in to watch my show. I thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel, sharing my content, putting up with the thundering footsteps above my my little studio here as I record from home. And I hope I'll see you here, hopefully bright and early next Friday. Thanks again, everyone. Adios.